Oh, all right. Yes. Now, this girl, Mackenzie. Okay. So, see, man, I don't want to give you all the D's because you got to watch it. It's so good. But
I'm, a,
anyway,
I'm
so this girl named Mackenzie, I've been telling you about her. She is like, she's young. I don't know, like 20, some young 20, 22, 23, I don't know, something like that. Anyways, she's really young. But she's got a boyfriend. Apparently, they seem to be like the perfect couple. And then they all of a sudden weren't the perfect couple. People were saying like maybe there was some like arguments or something like that was not really like prominent. You know how people can like in the face, in their face, and you're like, oh my God, they're so perfect and they don't do this, they don't have any problems, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then
right.
back obviously like there's arguments and stuff like that. That's why it's like you find those situations where it's like, they would never and they're just so nice and that's that's their best friend or that's their, they're so great and they help everybody and and all that stuff like that. But really, they got a dark side, because everybody got a dark side. Except for me. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely got one. But
Right.
I
It's
mean,
two sides of every fish. You know that, right?
it comes with the territory, okay? Because I don't know, but I don't know much about being a quote unquote Pisces, but what I have heard, I can verify. I can attest to.
Right. I resemble that remark. Say, I absolutely resemble that remark.
But yeah, so this girl Mackenzie, so her situation is pretty ridiculous. So apparently there's like these conversations and these text messages and things of that nature that have been going on before the incident, the big incident. She's got this like she likes to smoke or whatever. And so they were saying really that was her only thing and she liked to smoke. But I mean, I know plenty of people that like to smoke, so they partake of the stuff, the cannabis. But anyways, and so they were saying like maybe it was making like her irritable or something like that. But anyways, she decides to go forward. She decides she wants to crash her car into a building at like 97 miles per hour. So they said that she was pressing her foot down on the board so hard she didn't move her foot at all. Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. So she didn't move her foot at all. So they looked at the I guess I didn't realize that cars provide so much information about how you're driving prior to impact or a car accident. That is so cool. I would love to get deeper into understanding how that works because I think that's really cool. But they pulled like a scanner or something and like it gave the information that what was happening. It talked about like how fast the car was going, what it was in, if it was in neutral or drive, or if it shifted out of gear. Like it literally pulled up everything that happened in that car. And I think that's pretty incredible, honestly. I was like, what? Cars give that kind of information? That's crazy.
Yeah, that little, you know how you go get your inspection done, that little port there where they plug into, and
Uh-huh.
it kind of gives them all the information about your car. You take it to it's a OD2, ODP, OD2, something like that. But anyway, it's the port to the computer system that's in the car. The
That is just
all cars since like what, after like shit 98 or some shit like that, they all came with the with those computer chips, and it tells you literally everything.
that is just
So
cool to me. Like you literally have to like I don't even know how you can even fake it. It's so crazy to give that kind of information. You can't even fake it. So like with Mackenzie's situation, she she was like I guess they said she probably had a little bit of a tussle. And in the tussle, they said that it could have been like the person that was like next to her, like in the passenger seat, or it could have been in the back. They said they can't figure out that, but they know that there was a tussle because right before the impact, the car was in still going 97 to 100 miles per hour, but it was like going shifting from like drive to neutral, drive to neutral, drive to neutral, like that. And so they said somebody must have been trying to like obviously stop the
Slow it.
car. Or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, or slow it down because they couldn't do anything else. The thing is too, they had the boyfriend and the best friend in the car. So in my opinion, the best friend was probably collateral damage, but he was just in a car in the moment. I think that's what happened with him. But anyways, Mackenzie survived. Her boyfriend and the best friend died. So they're the parents now. Oh my gosh, they're like so into this, and they asked the court to like to acknowledge that she has some kind of like disease or something where like you can like black out of nowhere. I forgot what they said it was called, but basically you just black out of nowhere and you can't control your bodily functions or whatever. But I'm just like, okay, let's play devil's advocate and say that that's true. Couple of things come to play. One, why is she driving if she has this, you know, thing? Because I mean, even people that have seizures, they can't drive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that this is a thing, like you wouldn't have gotten a license, you know?
Exactly.
And she's young, so, like, that means that the parents would've known this prior, too. It's not like this is, like, a new disease, quote, unquote, because some people who don't know that they might have seizures, they may develop seizures and then, end up having seizures at that time. But even still, if you end up having a seizure, like, you have to go 7 full years without a seizure in order to get a driver's license. 7 years. So if she has this thing going on, then yeah, she shouldn't even be driving. That's the first thing. Two, if you are out of it, you can't control your bodily functions. How are you driving at 97 to 100 miles per hour? Foot is on you are pushing down to go that fast in this little
Right.
bitty car. There's that. So they were like, oh, well, they think that, they didn't disclose that she had this illness and, and she wasn't even there. She just conveniently not remembered anything that she did prior to turning on that street. She literally was driving normal. There was cameras on every street. Every street there's cameras. Nothing. She's driving regular, but and she stops at a stop sign. She like turns the corner and she was driving cautiously slow, whatever, normal. And then somewhere between turning that corner, because and on top of this, the street is like curvy. It's a S. It's like does like S curves and stuff like that. You cannot do that 97 miles per hour, not coherent. Like you would have hit something a long time ago. And then you're gonna crash into a building, head on, crash into a building. I'm like, this is crazy. The parents go to the court. Uh, then she's going to the court. She's like trying to talk, and her mom's like telling her, "Oh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Like you're gonna incriminate yourself and all these things." And she's like, "I'm just talking. What are you talking about right now? I was just saying I miss him, and you can't tell me I can't say anything." And she's like, "You shouldn't say anything. You shouldn't be talking." And it's just getting worse. This is getting worse. And then the judge at the trial, she says, she asks people to say, their last, little feelings or, what they want to get out there before judgment, comes out. The mom comes up there and she's just like, she's so sorry. Like she didn't mean to do this. Like you have to give her grace and I'm just asking for leniency and Devin, I mean, he's a new friend. And the judge is like, wait, so you mean to tell me because he's a new friend that his life didn't matter? And she's like, oh no, God, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. And I'm just like, lady, shut up.
You have the right to remain silent when you read.
Shut up. Because right now you are making your daughter's case so bad right now. It's already bad, but you are adding to the badness with your
Right.
mouth. Like, it was just so bizarre. And like everybody was just like in denial. Like even her best friend was like, "Well, she would never, and we've been friends forever, and she loved her boyfriend, and she would never hurt him, and this just doesn't make sense." And I'm like, the evidence, child, the evidence.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what else do you want? This is crazy. This makes absolutely no sense that you're fighting for your friend. I'm sorry. I could love my friend, my family, siblings, even a mother, my father. I can love them. But if I hear evidence and I see it, I can't just be like, oh my God, I don't understand. I'm going to be like, whoa, I would have never thought. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't understand. This isn't right. And it doesn't seem true. And blah, blah, blah. Like, I, no, like, for me, that's crazy. That's crazy.
No, I completely get it. And it's like, on that note, you have people who just allow people to get away with things for so long. They cover up the BS that they do. And you end up with situations like this right here where this person now has to be held accountable for their actions. And it's like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it is. People lost their lives. What the you talking about? You know, but this person over here shouldn't have to ruin the rest of their life because these other people lost theirs. No, your actions caused that. So it's like, yeah, there
Right.
are consequences for your actions. Fuck out of here. Hey, I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever on this particular one. I don't.
Yeah. And then right after this situation happened, so she got hurt herself. So it's not like she walked out with like, no problems or anything. She had multiple broken bones and all the other stuff. I mean, she was going 97 to 100 miles per hour and crashed into a car. So yeah, I my personal opinion, I think that whatever the argument was between she and her boyfriend was enough for her to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna end it all. We're all gonna go, you know. I don't think that she actually thought that she was gonna survive that. I really don't. Because no person in there, even if you're not in your full right mind, can think I'm gonna crash into a building going this fast and survive it. Like, you're playing Russian roulette. There's no way that you think you're gonna survive that, you know? So I think she thought she was gonna get away with it, and she would have died and he would have died and none of this would have, you know, transpired. But since she survived, now she's like, she has to figure out what to do next. But she ended up getting like this marketing deal or something from some company, accepting it or whatever like that. And I guess like right after she got out of the hospital, she like signed on with the company. And then after that, she ended up going to some like party and like she was just basically living her life, like acting like, she just straight up X'd out two people, and two people lost their lives because of her actions. I find it like very strange how she's acting. Like, even in the documentary at the end, she's like, I would never do this. And, I just don't understand. And then she looks over to the left. She's like, is that all I need to say? Should I say anything else? Like, or am I done? Or what? Like, so casually. Like, you were just acting like you were gonna cry, and then you, in a straight face, said, "Do I need to say anything else? Is this all? Should I say anything else?" Girl,
I put on.
psycho much, psycho much, because that whole thing was just like, it was just really weird. I find it very strange that she is acting like she didn't do anything, and she keeps saying she doesn't remember conveniently after she has already turned this corner. Like, you've been driving for a while and you don't remember. I mean, they did drug tests on her. She passed her drug test. They did they checked her alcohol levels. She
Wait,
passed that.
wait. She passed the drug test. She should have failed that. See, because she should have came up positive for the drugs or the medication that she's supposed to be taking for her condition.
That too.
That should have showed up on that panel. But I digress. Go ahead.
And yeah, and she's still acting like she don't remember anything. And she's got she's got 15 years, I want to say. I have to double check that, but I think it's like 15 years. The judge was like, "You know what? You're gonna get the minimum to life." She's like, "But honestly, like, I don't see you ever getting out." She's like, "I don't see you ever getting out." Like, the judge literally says this to the girl. So they tried to appeal it. Last year didn't work. They're trying to appeal it again this year. I'm like, girl, let it go. This is your new home. Get used to it.
I don't like it here.
You lucky you went there. She was so mad at one of her mom called her or did a visit or no, it was a call, and there was a girl she kept talking to. I guess she was talking to one of the workers or whatever, but the worker wasn't listening to her, wasn't really like paying attention or around or something. And she's like, "Oh my god, this girl's getting on my nerves." She's like losing it. She is losing it on the phone, and her mom's trying to tell her to calm down. She's like going off, and I'm like, "All right, so you're just reminding everyone that you have a temper and that you're crazy, and you're yelling at this girl. We're trying to get the officer's attention. Meanwhile, you can't even focus talking to your mother on the phone and be calm
Right.
and cool because you're talking to your mom on the phone." Yeah, it's really crazy, and there's so many more videos that are, like, coming out now because she's, like, recording things, and they're like, "How is she recording stuff in jail?" They're really streaming this, and I can see this becoming a Lifetime movie. Like, he probably gonna get a movie deal in jail. Don't quote me on it, but I'm just saying,
I
it happened.
mean, television show, something, a series. It happens. I mean,
I
it
just
happens.
I just saw Stolen Baby yesterday. Oh, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? And that's another one. Apparently, this woman in Texas, she was best friends with someone. Oh my goodness. This is another one. This is like when you don't know. You don't know if you could trust people. When these stories come out, I'm always like, you gotta watch your back even with the people that you know.
Right, right.
Like, cause this girl is the best friend. They've known each other since they were 16. Here they are in their 30s, you know. They're like just hanging out and happy and and things. And one lives in like Austin, the other lives in Houston. And so it's a little bit of a drive or whatever, but like they're still like, staying in contact with each other and all these different things. This girl decides she wants her man to stay. He's not gonna stay. He's trying to break up with her. So as he's trying to break up with her, she's like, ding, her phone. She picks her phone up. She looks at it. It's a text message from her best friend. Best friend is pregnant. Shows a picture of the sonogram.
Mm-hmm.
So she puts her phone down and she says, "I'm pregnant." So he's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Okay." So now he's trying to change up how to approach this because he just broke up with her. He's like telling her, but they're done. He's done with her. And he's not happy. He's ready to move on. And so he's like, "Wow, okay, I'm gonna be a dad. Like, oh wow, this is great. Like, okay, okay. Well, you can stay with me, you can live with me and, until the baby gets here and, and oh, wow. And then she reaches over to grab him and he's like, oh no. No, 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 no. No, nah, I want the baby to be okay. I want you to you to be okay while you holding my baby, but we're still done. She thinks, oh man, this is gonna like draw him in. Like he's gonna come back to me. He's not gonna want to break up. And he still wants to break up. So she has to keep playing a part to figure it out. So now she's like her friends talking about, "Oh, man, I hope I have a girl. And then she's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we both had girls and we can like they can do dancing and all these other things and together. And so she's like, yeah, that would be great. So then she tells the girls, her best friend, that she is going to have her baby a week. She's due a week after her. Perfect timing, right? Like,
Mm.
yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I'm pregnant too. I'm due a week after you. And so now they're both quote unquote pregnant at the same time. So fast forward to the baby shower. Now she's like, okay, I'm gonna come in town. But when I come in town, this is for her baby shower. I'm not pregnant, but she is. Like I gotta keep showing apart. So she starts buying these like bellies, like the belly props that movies use or whatever. She's
Hmm.
buying those to try to keep up with her story. So anyway, she goes to the baby shower. She's got this fake bump. The friend has a real one, and the friend with the real baby is trying to touch the friend with the fake belly, like, oh my god, I want it. And she's like, no, like don't touch it. So she wouldn't let her touch her at all. And so she was like trying to play it off basically like, oh no, no, I have to use bathroom and I have to do this and whatever. So, anyways, the whole time in her head while everything is happening, she's pretending that all of that stuff is happening to her. So they're playing the games, trying to figure out the gender and all these other things. She's imagining her in her friend's spot instead of it being her actual friend. So her friend finds out it's a girl. So you know what she does?
Oh my God, I got a girl too.
What? I'm having a girl too. And it's like, okay, you're having a girl. We're having a girl. We're going to have girls together. This is great. Well, she, of course, has to go back home to Austin. And so she's pretending to live her life here in Austin. And then her friend is actually in Houston or whatever. And, anyways, the baby that comes in there at the hospital. So she still has a little baby prop or whatever in her shirt. And she goes to the hospital and her friend is like, oh my God, you're due in like a week. Like, why are you here? Like, you should be dry. How'd you get here? Like, what's going on? She's freaking out because I mean, like, no one travels a week when they're due. Like,
Right, right.
you are not traveling when you're due in a week.
When are you due?
So she goes there to grab the baby. You said what? Mm, mm. So yeah. But anyways, she go to the hospital. She snatches the baby from from her father, which is the grandfather. And like, I can't stay long. It's my turn to hold the baby. She takes the baby and everybody's like freaking out, like, oh my God, what are you doing? She's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful and blah, 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 and holding her and stuff. And then she just like leaves. And everybody thought it was strange that she, one, came up to the hospital when she's a week due. Two, that she snatched the baby from the grandfather. Like, it was like aggressive. It wasn't even like easy. Like, it was very aggressive. Like, give me her, and shit. They're like, oh my gosh, she's fragile. She was just born. Like, you can't just be snatching a baby. You're gonna break something or whatever. So, anyways, she ends up leaving. And then she's pretending this whole time that she has the baby. So she's not talking to anybody over the phone. She's just texting to stay in contact with people. She hasn't shown pictures of the baby. She hasn't done any of these things. But she freaks out the next week and she goes to her friend's house and she's like bawling. And she's like, the quote unquote baby's father had left. So this was the perfect time for her to pretend like she gave birth. So she's like, well, the only way she can do this is if she goes to her best friend, takes the baby, and offs her friend. So she goes there. She's bawling. She's like, I just really need to talk. And her friend is like, what's going on? Like, she's like, oh, well, let's take my car. She's like, where's Lily's car seat? Where's the baby's car seat? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't put it in the car. It's okay. We're not going to go far because we're just going to go, around a corner, someplace quick. It's okay. Just sit in the car. And she's like, yeah, but I need a car seat. We can just take my car. And she's like, no, 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 no. It's okay. Like, we're not going far. And so she trusts her friend. This is supposed to be her best friend. She's not thinking nothing of it. She was just like, you know what? Okay, just this one time, I will get in the car. I'll sit in the back with the baby, and then you can drive. So she drives off or whatever and said that she offed her friend with a dog leash in her hands, so like strangulation or whatever, and then took the baby. So then the baby's father, whatever, comes home and she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't tell you, but I had the baby this morning. And he's like, wait, what? Why are you here? Like, why did you get released so fast? And they were like, she was like, oh, they don't keep you if if you have a good delivery. They send you home, they discharge you and all this or whatever. And I'm like, I know some people who have had perfect deliveries and still had to stay overnight. Now I do know some people that left like a day or two later, but you still have to stay 24 hours at least. So so anyways, she he's like, "Oh, we got to take you to the hospital. We need to make sure that you're okay." And she's like, "No, we're good. I'm good. Do I look okay? Don't I look okay?" Like now she's starting arguments with him because she has to play this part. So he doesn't think anything of it. He's like, "Okay, you know yourself better." Like, okay, and he's just happy that he's got this daughter or whatever. Well, meanwhile, she placed her friend in her trunk of her car. So now her friend's husband is looking for his wife and his baby. Like, where is my wife and where is my baby? So they did a full scan. They're searching everywhere. She's still playing the part. She's still saying she doesn't know. She hasn't talked. She's crying. She's miserable. And meanwhile, the baby has, what's it, jaundice, where your skin is yellowing and stuff like that. So the baby needed to go to the hospital, but she would not take the baby to the hospital. So the cops end up investigating, of course, all the friends, all the family, and they're looking and they're trying to figure out what happened. Meanwhile, the quote unquote baby's father is caught at a grocery store. And they were like, do you know this lady and this baby? And he was like, well, the baby, that looks like my daughter. And then they took him in for questioning. So I guess he kind of told them, whatever the story. And so they plotted to go to her house basically, and they went to her house pretending to do like a wellness thing. They're like, in the state of Texas, when you have a baby, we have to do a wellness check, make sure the mom is okay and the baby's okay and that you have everything that you need. And she's like a little skeptical at first, but she was like, who sent you? And she was like, oh, the father. And so she was like, okay, they did get into an argument, so maybe he did, call somebody. So they played a part. They're checking the baby. They're telling her that the baby has jaundice and needs to go to the hospital and all these things. And they're like, "Well, we have to make sure that the car seat looks good. Let's go look at your car seat." So at this time, I think she pretty much knew she was caught. So they went to the car and they're like, "It smells like a body. Can I get the key to your car?" And She gives them the key, looks in the trunk, and there's the friend. And everybody's just like, wait, this is our best friend. What in the world? How did this happen? Again, people you think you know, it's just, you never know. You just really never know. That's kind of scary.
That it is. I mean, jealousy is a mug, right? So it's like, what was it really about? Was it about the pregnancy? Was it about initially trying to keep a man? You
That's what
know, and it sounds like some shit straight out of Chat GTP, you know.
I
But at the same time, I don't put it past anybody, you know. Like
Yeah,
you don't know what a person is capable of.
right.
It, jealousy and envy run deep in people, and you just have to pick up on it if you can. But damn, your best friend doing some shit like that, who can you trust?
Right. Somebody that you've known for years, you've known them since you were a child, like a kid, and you don't think anything of it. And the thing is like everybody's like, this is done for no reason. Like, get a new man. Like literally. And of course, like the police was looking at her search history and all this stuff, and she's trying to figure out like how to fake um, miscarriage and stuff, and how to like search for missing people, and she's like the chances of finding like a missing person, like all kinds of stuff that was in her search. And I'm like, she was sloppy for one. And for two, it's like, again, why would you do this? You did this all over because it's all stemmed from a guy saying that he was breaking up with her.
Okay, is it really that deep? Is it? Is it really that good that
I
we
mean,
we gonna steal a baby and commit murder?
your best friend,
That part.
supposedly best friend.
So, damn, it makes you look at your circle, reevaluate your circle. You know what
Mhm,
I'm saying? Same thing we've been saying on the podcast before. Is like, can you really trust the people that's around you? You know what I'm saying? Are they around you just because you're doing things for them?
mhm,
Is they around you just because they want something from you? I mean, same thing, but stated differently.
right. I
I don't
think,
know.
it's funny because I'm like, I've now gone in this rabbit hole of all these different stories like this, and, I I mean, honestly, like, it's funny because it's like you could think of these things, obviously, like, you're like, "Oh, yeah, somebody can do you wrong, somebody can cheat on you, you can end up getting into a fight with somebody that you thought you were close to, or you can end up being, gone, kidnapped, whatever, because of someone that you know." After looking at these stories, I don't think there's any real, chance to know who you have in your life. However, I would just say err on the side of caution when things just go sour, because obviously arguments can change things, change feelings. If people seem like they're out of sorts and like acting differently, I would just question those things because I'm being very anal when it comes to looking at the friendships that I have now. And I've noticed, like, really in the past month too, that things have gotten like really, really bad. I don't know if it's my mind or what, but like, I feel like things have gotten pretty bad when it comes to the friends that I have. I was actually, I was actually trying to, like, in a small way, figure out like who's really my friend and who's not by doing certain, I'll call them tests, certain tests, just sending like random text messages or, asking a specific question about a person's day or just something small, like even saying like, Happy Mother's Day to see, like, if it's a response or see saying asking a follow-up question, like, not really a deep follow-up question, but just something like, "I didn't know that," or "When did that happen?" Or something small, not, like, going into details about, like, what they just said, just to see if there's a response and see what the response is. And some people I'm getting responses back to, some not, and some I'm getting, like, little, um,
Short answers.
short answer, 1, 2
Yeah,
answer
yeah,
replies, kinda thing.
yeah.
And so it's like, okay, okay. I see where this is headed. It's just like confirming what I guess my suspicions have been or what they have been growing into.
Mm, mm-mm. It's not suspicion. It's discernment.
Mm,
It's a difference. Your body's already telling you what your mind already knows.
mm,
So
yeah.
you're just
It
figuring
really
it.
sucks though. It sucks when you know somebody for so long and then things just like out of nowhere just kind of changes or whatever. But I feel like I've heard it before. I've heard people say before, like when people see you doing something different or well, or they think that you're maybe close to an up, or you know, they see you happy, or whatever, then they like try to make it seem like they're okay with that, but like really they aren't, okay with how you're feeling or what you're going through or what they think you're going through because you don't really know if you're not talking to that person. And if you're supposed to be friends, it should be like open communication, open dialogue. You should be able to like explain, what's happening in your life for real if you ask the actual questions. And I'm not really getting any of that, and I'm starting to see people like starting to like fade away. And it's like,
Okay.
what?
Let them.
Yeah.
Let them. You know what I'm saying? I saw a quote the other day that really touched home. And it was basically saying that I'm as far away as you pushed me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, I was there, but you started showing me your true your true colors.
mm,
So you kept pushing me away. The things that I was doing or trying to do, you didn't want to do. You didn't want to be involved in. You wanted, you know what I'm saying? Or you didn't care enough about what I had going on to even ask me the questions, to even ask the correct question. So with that being said, again, I am as far away as you pushed me.
mhm.
And this is where I will remain. Don't try to come back over here. We're not aligned. Let it go. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I know they say you can't, always bring everybody with you, especially when you start to come up. So I guess it's like trying to figure out like who those people are. That's really the big question. Like, who am I bringing up with me when I do come up? I mean, I'm obviously still going through stuff now, but I feel like things are starting to slowly turn me in a different direction. So it's like I have these ideas and I have these goals and these dreams and ambitions. And I'm like, either you're fully with me or you're fully not with me. There's no like in the middle. And I feel like I already had a small circle, so it does kind of suck that it feels like it's like, dang, you had a small circle and now your circle's getting even smaller. It's
Mm,
like,
told you, drop the pencil. That's my circle. I told you,
"Ah,
drop that pencil.
man, seriously. I even like when it comes to family, like we so my family is weird. So I think almost all families have a little weirdum to them, but like mine is like really weird. I have a very good relationship with my paternal side. I mean, there's a few like rocky situations that have happened or whatever, but like everybody's always been like very forgiving, understanding, and trying to like really just like be family. Like they just work with you and they are very open, forgiving, and there's only one person in our family who is not like that, and this person is actually married into the family. So they're not even really like they are family, but you know what I mean? Like they're not the same bloodline is what I'm
Play
saying.
as a
But
play cousin.
they're married to she's married to my uncle. So, but everybody else is like really, I mean, when I say like everybody tries to really be there for each other and love on each other and always check in on each other. It's fun. It's always good energy when we're all together. Good energy, positive. Everybody's laughing, having fun, catching up. Even if you haven't seen each other or heard from each other in years, it's like almost like starting over. Or I mean, not starting over, like starting
Picking up right where you
picking
left
up.
off.
Right, exactly. Picking up where you left off. There's no drama. I freaking love them. I love my paternal family. Now I love my maternal family too. But I was just
However, come.
however, I do feel like there's so much drama and animosity in this family, and I don't know why. I really don't. Like, for some reason, my family, my direct family, immediate family, seems like everybody has a problem with us. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from because none of us have done anything to anybody. We don't start drama. We're not into any of that. We're always like about our family, but we're always about our bread and we're always about, enjoying life. Like we don't do,
That's
getting
what it
into
was.
the law. We don't do the trouble with the law. We don't do the arguments. We stay away from all of that stuff.
But that's what it was. That's why they don't like you, man. Fuck them uppity ass niggas.
Literally. No, for real. My sister and I were just saying that yesterday. I swear, literally. They
What?
always have this like thing where they think that we're better than them, and they literally said it, and we were like, "Wait, what?" First of
Mm-mm.
all, we never said that, but now that you mention it, because we've always done nothing but try to like love on our family and like be there for our family and support our family even when they don't. Like there was this one incident where all of us are of age now. I'm like one of the youngest of the girls, and there's me and there's another cousin who's a year older than me. But the cousin that's a year older than me, she grew up with me half of her life. She grew up with them half of her life. And so for some reason we were just like, you know what? Everybody's of age. I think I was probably 21 at the time. They were like, everybody's of age. Let's hang out. Let's get a place. Let's whatever. And, just spend the day with each other, get to know each other and all these things like that. At first, I was a little apprehensive about it because I see these people a few times a year. Christmas, Thanksgiving, maybe in the summer, my grandmother's birthday. That's it. I don't see them any other time. And so they don't know me. I don't know them. It's always like whatever. But this time we're like trying to like see each other for the first time really and hang out with each other. One of the cousins was like, she lost her wedding ring, couldn't find it. And she was just so upset. And like me being the empathetic, loving person that I am, and trying to like I'm always a problem solver and trying to figure things out. I'm like, okay, let's retrace this. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's Where were we? We went to the pool. I started delegating. I'm like, okay, you some of you guys go check the pool. I'm like, oh, we should check the pool. We should check because these are all the things I remember. I'm literally standing there looking at a timeline in my head and I'm like, okay, these are all things that we just did. So when did you have it? So we started looking in all those places or whatever. And she said she washed the dishes. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I hope it's not in the garbage disposal. And so, you know what I did? I go look in the garbage disposal and I put my hand in there thinking, I was like, I'm glad they didn't turn it on. Like, because that's how crazy they are. So it wasn't in there. And I was like, it must have fallen in someone's bag or did you go in your bag? Did you look in your bag? So I was like, everybody empty their bags. I literally like everybody empty their bags. And so it was in her sister's bag. Now, I'm like not in the same room. It's them and whatever. And me and my sister, we was in another room. And then we were just talking to another cousin. They called the cousin in the room where they were at. And so at this point, I'm like, are they singling us out? Like, what the heck just happened? So then I overheard something about me having it. And I was like, wait, what? So then my sister heard it too. So my sister, she don't play about me. So it's a huge thing. And now we're over here arguing. Everybody's arguing, talking about I took it, I stole it, and I wanted it, and I was jealous. And I was mad that they had a ring and I didn't, and that I had put it in. And I'm like, you found it in your sister's bag, and she's like, oh, they were like, we know you put it in there, and it was so bad. I was just like, oh no. So my sister and I left, and the crazy thing is, right before I think this was I don't know if this was the same night or the night after. I think it might have been the night after. But anyways, there was another drama. But this time it was the girls and the guys all together. So all of the males and females. We went out to eat. It was a whole bunch of us. There's like 20 of us. So we're all like at this one restaurant. It was a lot of us. It was literally all of us. My uncle got 5 kids. My aunt has 5 kids. My other aunt has 2 kids. My mom has had the 4 of us. So literally it was, and then my other aunt, her 5 kids. So it was literally all of us. And so we thought it was going to be a good night. It's literally all the first cousins hanging out for the first time together. It was so bad. A lot of them end up leaving without paying their checks. They were like, we're going to call the police. We were like, we're paying for our food. We are not paying for theirs. So you call the police. You go ahead and you do that if you want to, but we got a ticket that says we paid for our food. And it was so bad and so ghetto. So we all in the middle of New York arguing about a check. And so, no, this was the next night. This had to be the next night because I think it just stemmed. It was an argument that piled on from the day with the girls. I think that's what it was. But anyways, it was just so ghetto. It was terrible. It was so bad. And I was like, I've never ever really hung with you guys. I don't really know you guys. I have no clue who you are. Don't know anything really about you except the fact that you're my cousins and I see you at family reunions. I see you at grandma's birthday party. I see you for Christmas or Thanksgiving because we were switching Christmas and Thanksgiving in Jersey. And so it was just really a hot mess. And these are people that I know. So I know for a fact that people that you know can be terrible and trashy and stabbing on the back and not be supportive or there for you. I do find it very weird that especially family will do that. But yeah, I'm just like we have a family reunion in a couple of weeks and I'm gonna go only because it's in Orlando. But I'm going for a different reason. I'm not going to see if they are gonna be there. I really just kinda wanna one there is one cousin that I wanna see and talk to her to figure out, like, what happened with our relationship because they come here so many times and not seen me, and, I used to see them every summer religiously, would stay with them for, like, weeks. I mean, I've stayed with them for a whole month before, you know? I've spent so much time with this particular cousin, like, she was almost like a second mom to me, and, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I don't hear from her anymore, but I have questions, and I do kinda wanna talk to her, and then I do like the legacy banquet. I do like doing that because you get to know who's a part of your family and, learn our roots and all that stuff like that. Because I don't really know that much about my maternal family. Like, I just don't really care about all the famous people that they be mentioning. Because 'cause I'm like, "I don't care. Run me some money." They love bringing up Mace. They talk about him so much, and I'll be like, "Man, that dude ain't done nothing for me. I don't have no money from him." And, so when he can help a sister out, then that's one thing, but until then,
Stop it.
he's just the same person as anybody else that I don't know. Don't know you. Don't know
Right.
you. So,
Can't.
but yeah, um, people are weird, man. People are weird. The struggle is weird.
Well, there's a good weird and there's a bad weird, and then there's just what the fuck are you on weird? Where do we stand with it? How do we? Family is family. You know, I was just saying the same thing. God, was it last week or week before last? About how everybody has a shadow. And so I was talking to a friend of mine. He was getting ready to, he's facing an issue with alcoholism. Let's just go ahead and say what it is.
Alright.
So he was getting ready to go into the rehab. So the couple days before, he's turning up. It's like, bro, you already moving backwards. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, I got a bunch of demons. I'm like, okay, you call them demons, I call them shadows. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody has one. And a healthy amount of that shadow is okay. You have to be able to feed it from time to time, right?
Mm,
And then I made the analogy of how have you ever watched somebody doing something that you knew was stupid, and the second they hurt themselves, you smile, you laughed. That was you feeding that shadow of yours. Because nothing of the light says that we should be laughing at someone who just injured themselves. However, my shadow liked that. I needed that. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So we all have shadows. And then I talked about how we was partaking in the things that we were partaking in at the moment, at that particular moment. So we're all feeding our shadows.
mhm,
And then right on cue, another friend was talking about something about his brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm talking out like, see what I mean? Everybody has a shadow. So
mm,
it was basically stating that one brother didn't feel like they was getting enough attention since the other brother was around.
mm.
Type thing, that sibling rivalry type thing. So
Right.
same thing with family members is that if they feel like you just get everything you want, you don't even have to work. To them, it looks like you don't have to work hard for it. It just comes to you.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
like, you don't see this work that I'm doing in this background. You know what I'm saying? Like this grind that I got going on. So
Mhm,
they, because you make it seem so effortlessly, you know what I'm saying? And it just comes to you. So they mad at you just for that simple thing. And then when it comes down to like the story that you was just telling about the ring, the first thing that came out to my mind was, why in the hell did you take the ring off? What purpose did you have to take that ring off? You know,
I didn't even think about that, but yeah. 'Cause, I mean, if it's your wedding ring, you can wear it
anywhere. If it's
anywhere
real, you
if
can
it's
get in the
real.
pool, get in the pool with it. You can wash dishes with it, the whole
Yep,
nine. Yep.
yep.
Why did you take it off? You took it off simply so you can start drama and blame it on somebody who you really don't like.
Mhm,
So now everybody else around you feeds into that same narrative. Let's get back to the root. Why did you take it off?
Right.
You know? And when you boil it down to it, you can't say anything that's going to be relevant. You'll say some things, and that
Mhm.
story will change depending on who you talk to or how many people ask them that same question. The story always changes, but the truth of the matter never changes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And like you were saying before, that there's power in being silent because people don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're going through. They have no information whatsoever.
Right.
So they tend to build a story or a narrative around whatever it is that they feel like you're going through. You know, I just feel like you do have to look at your circle. You do have to look at how people are moving around you. Are they doing what they say?
Mhm.
Or are they saying something and doing something completely different? Who shows up for you? Like you said, you evaluate your circle. Who
Mhm.
is going to be there? Who is my real one? Who shows up even when I didn't expect that mug to?
Right.
And when I started cutting people off, I honestly did not I didn't care anymore because I was in a vulnerable state and I know how I showed up for people when I was up. Like
Yeah.
would literally here, you want it, you can take the shirt off my back type shit.
Right.
And when I did reach that moment, I saw the smirks. I saw I listened to the sideways that wasn't even compliments. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
how people just talking sideways. I'm watching how you move, I'm watching what you say and what you do. And you know how it goes. It's like when it comes down to money, most people are not going to lend, especially today and in this economy. It's hard. Everybody struggles. Everybody has some type of something that they got to go through, that they a bill or whatever the case that they have to pay. And then there are
Right.
the unexpected bills. Hell, I got one in the mail the other day. Additional dental, and you know what I'm saying, on top of what you've already been paying. It's like, wait a minute, I got this large bill. It wasn't no small bill, it was a large bill. And but at the same time, there's a narrative. I say that because like you, my family members or my exes or whatever the case ain't shit. I'm not gonna say they're being sugarcoated. They're not.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we paint this narrative knowing darn well nobody will literally can sit here and say, yes, I saw that with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard them say that with my own ears. Nobody can say those things and be 100% telling the truth. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I don't talk to nobody. So anything y'all got going on, y'all done made up and y'all running with it. Well, so and so said, but you ain't heard me say it. So again, I ain't shit. Me, I'm not shit. I abandoned my family, this, that, and the third, when in reality, nigga, I filed for divorce 3 years ago, signed the fucking papers.
Mhm.
And then you sit up here and say, I don't do anything because I cut you. I really cut y'all off. All the stuff that you told people I was doing. Well, now I'm starting to do some of those things.
Mhm.
Right. And, and you file paperwork on me for abandonment. I'm just going to come out and say it. I got paperwork filed on me for abandonment. And yet you and the child turn around and use my insurance that I pay for. And then I get an even bigger bill on top of that in the mail, unexpected. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to pay for it because you can't say that I abandoned you when you're fucking using my insurance. It don't add up.
Right.
But you get where I'm going with that. It's like,
Right.
don't say one thing and then do something else. Same thing with that rain situation. Don't take it off so you can say somebody tried to steal it Because had you not asked everybody to dump their bags, that story would have went around saying that you stole that ring,
Mhm.
knowing damn well they put it in his bag.
Mhm.
So to me, it's the stories that come along with the fallacies, as I like to call them, that comes along with it. But as the story goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's a circus without clowns? You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you recognize what's going on and you
Mhm.
can stand for truth, you don't have to worry about what nobody else says, you know? Because at the end of the day, what are they really doing for you?
Right.
So if somebody wants to be in your life, they will be. They will make the effort. They will
Mhm.
pick up the phone. They will call. They will text. Hey, what's going on, cuz? How you been? I ain't heard from you in a while. You know?
Mhm.
But if they're expecting you to do that and you've reached out in the past
Mhm.
and you get those short answers,
Mhm.
I ain't really worried about what you talking about. Am I
Right.
nothing? Leave them alone
Yeah.
and feed them with that exact same energy that they're giving you.
Mhm.
You don't have to put up with it. Don't put up with it. Because the best thing that you can do is actually ignore them and watch them blow up. Because you don't feed into that narrative that they're trying to paint, that story. Don't
Right.
react. Don't react. Because the moment you react, they got you where they want you, and now they are the puppet master. They pull all the strings. When you
Yeah.
go in that opposite direction and you do what you really want to do, don't even cuss them out unless
Mhm.
they really, really, really deserve it. Well, most of the time when they send up that barking at you, that's what they want. They want that reaction so they can turn around and tell people, see, I told you that's exactly how they are.
Mhm.
Don't give it to them. Keep it pushing.
Yeah. You know me, I'm so sensitive. Until I'm not though. I know it's so weird because like I feel like I have allowed in the past people to just keep doing things over and 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 over. And like it takes a lot for me to really just be like, oh, I'm tired. But I feel like lately because there's been so many things piling on, it's been extremely overwhelming, especially since April with the whole school situation. Like, I feel like these past couple of months have really been like super telling for me. I've been noticing it more and more because I've just honestly have not been in a good headspace like at all. I've always like try to like be like, oh, I'm happy, ha ha ha, this is going on, blah blah blah, whatever. But like deep down, it's just dark and ugly. But like I'll say for the past week, I've been like really, really, really trying to like not pretend and just actually like here's the problem, here's the solution. Here's the problem, here's the solution, and kinda attack things from that. I I also know that there are some things that in my past I have not dealt with, so that is also an issue that I think, like, I've just allowed to, like, pile on. It's almost like a freaking Coke bottle. Like, that's what I feel like I am. I'm that Coke bottle. You shake it and all of a sudden, it just, like, explodes everywhere. Like, that's me. And so now I'm just like I'm thinking about people in a different way. I'm seeing people differently. I'm trying to move up, obviously, do better and do good and have some things open up for me, doors open up for me. I'm trying to be more prayerful and like meditate more and try to use my mornings a little bit wiser. Just trying to like really write down more things too. Cause I'm a writer. Like I need to write things down. Honestly, like I could be on the computer all day, but I feel like it's nothing like having a pen or a pencil and actually writing some stuff down? And so I've been doing that a lot lately too, is just writing, 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 and rereading the things that I'm writing. Because it's one thing to just write it down, but when you're reading it and you're really seeing like what's what in your life. And that's been super helpful. Again, I still feel like with these stories that I've been seeing, the situations that I've gone through personally, it's gonna always be one of those things where you have to just always be aware that I don't wanna think in this way, but, like, anyone can, turn sour, obviously. Anyone can do anything. So, just be guarded with everything, and just make sure to pay attention to signs and when things change and how people talk to you. Like, all of those things matter, because even the girlfriend who took the baby, like, you're literally making me uncomfortable, making me get in your car and not having a seatbelt or not a seatbelt, a car seat for a brand new baby who's 2 weeks old. Like, your best friend wouldn't do that. Those are signs. I don't care how distressed they are. I don't care how depressed or erratic they may seem. You have to be in your own thought and know, like, this isn't right. This is a two week old baby. I'm not getting ready to sit in the back of your car and take any chances. No. Like, you're acting crazy. I'm gonna let you be crazy by yourself, or like, this is what we're getting ready to do. Like, I'm gonna be the driver. I'm taking control over the situation. If I do feel like, oh, you're crazy enough, and then you say, yeah, you want to get in the car. Well, guess what? Now I'm the driver, and now I'm taking control over the situation. I'm taking you somewhere where I feel, comfortable, safe, whatever the case may be. You can take control over situations like that. Even the girl, who ended up crashing to the car, I'm thinking like the guys, if you know that you've had a history or text messages in the past that said like she's admitted to wanting to do this, you know, even if you've admitted to wanting to do this, like neither one of you should be driving each other. Like, that's just it. Like, I'm sorry, as soon as you text me one time that you will crash the car while I'm in it, I will never get in the car with you ever again. Never. I'm sorry. It just
Oh
won't
my
happen
God. I had
because
one of those
there
situations, so
will
I
be
understand.
signs. You what?
I had one of those situations, so I understand.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting in a car with you. What? Wait, I will crash the car. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know this ahead of time. I will never be getting in a car with you ever again.
Ever.
Ever.
You can't
Like,
even sit up front. You
not
gotta
a you can't you
if you
can't
get
even be in my car. I'm sorry. You cannot be in my car. I will gladly get you an Uber before I let you in my car.
wait.
I'm
uh,
sorry. At that point, I can never trust you with a vehicle ever. Never.
Oh man, this right here would go down so many different rabbit holes, but I was actually in a vehicle like that where I think I told a story once before. Like we literally riding on the interstate.
Mhm.
This mug got in the exit lane and jumped back over one lane to get in the far right lane down a hill and pulled over in front of riding your brakes with my seatbelt tightened, 18 wheeler behind you.
Wow.
And I'm like calmly like, hey, I'm gonna need you not to do that again. I need you to drive safe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, at least while I'm in the car.
Right.
You say okay, about 10 minutes later, you sitting up here driving, trying to watch a motherfucking movie. Now I snapped off on you.
Whoa.
So so now I'm snapping off on you because you playing with my life.
That's crazy.
Get this. But at the end of the day, guess who's wrong?
Obviously you.
Obviously. I'm the
Obvious.
one. Woo. Because
Wow.
because me asking calmly before didn't, saying yield the result that I was looking for. However, when I raised my voice at you, you seem to have a response. But now
Man.
your feelings hurt. Can't win. The
6,
game's the
7.
game is set up where we lose, man. I 6,
Wow.
7. Oh my God.
Wow.
All right, all right.
Ugh. Right now.
It's been another episode of All in One. So thank you all for tuning in. As always,
You're all in.
we're all in one.
One.
See you on the next one.